So boom, my nigga just came through. Big bro just came through. Big bro just came through, did some body work for me. He did some body work for me. That's my big bro right there. He did some body work for me on the truck that's over there. And then I was talking to him, and we decided that we finna tell our business a little bit, because I'm gonna be able to talk about the time that I had got shot. I got my motherfucking bottom on my motherfucking face blown off, and where all that shit come from. And all that shit too. That's from when I got shot too. I'm gonna be able to talk about that. And then he gonna be able to talk about two bodies, because well, not his first body, but the first body that we can talk about, he had got found guilty, and then on the retrial, not guilty. So now that we not guilty, we can talk about that shit, because you know we killed that nigga on purpose. and then the other body that we can talk about, his body that we could talk about, because I don't know, he been home like 5 years now, maybe 6. You know, like 5-6 years. And he had already got 18 flat for that one. Like we tried some slick shit with the courts with that one, and it failed. So, you know, he had to do 18 flat on that one. So we could talk about that body, because, you know, we already did a time for it. And then Lil said we could talk about that body. That's another one of my shooters. He relative though. That's another one of the shooters though. We could talk about his body, because I paid 20 motherfucking grand for us to get away for that one. And I mean, it was something that I already knew. I was just glad that we had the money for it. But even if you guilty, it don't mean shit. They gotta prove that shit in court. And if the state can't prove that shit, then they ain't going to court. They ain't trying to lose on purpose. And as far as that body in specific, Arizona don't have a self-defense law per se, right? But if you kill in a justifiable manner and can prove that it was justifiable manner, and not even you can prove, if the police through evidence and through whatever can see that the killing was in justifiable manner, and they don't, you know, and it's a big probability that we can win in court, they ain't taking that shit to court. And that's what they did, and they tried to squeeze us. This was 2020. They tried to squeeze us too. I got it on my Instagram. I was crying about that shit. My daughter was making fun of me. She didn't even know what the fuck was going on, because I wasn't talking about that shit, but to a few people. And she's making fun of me like, nigga, what the fuck you crying for on Instagram? But she didn't say that, but you know what I'm saying? She's like, what you crying for on Instagram? And I was like, man, don't worry about it. And that's why I was crying, nigga. The police was, the state was trying to squeeze us. And we had left the lawyer's office, like when the lawyer told us what it was, and they evidence, so to speak. They told us the evidence that discovery come, and we see what they got, and we know what they talking about. I was like, well, we can't do that. And then she looked at me, and then she looked at Sid, and I was like, shit, I don't know what she looking at him for. We ain't doing that. I was like, we ain't doing that, number one, but we damn sure the people that they asking about, them relatives, them family members, like, we ain't doing that. And she looked and said again, and said, was looking down, he looked up, and he was like, nah, we ain't doing that. And then he put his head back down, and then so we finished going through the meeting, and then when we left, we was driving, and that nigga was quiet, and I was quiet, because I was just thinking about, you know, like, shit, fuck, I can't figure a way out. You know, I'm thinking this money is supposed to get us out. And he ain't saying nothing. We was quiet, we driving. And I say, hey, bro, you know, if they come with a plea like 12, 15, man, we probably gonna have to take that. And I said, but I want you to know something, nigga. It's not that bad. Like, you 18, nigga, you young. Nigga, you know what I'm saying? You got a lot of life when you get out. Nigga, you gonna be straight. I'm gonna take care of everything. I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna do the best what I can with your brother and your sister. Blah, 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 blah. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to coach him to let him know, like, nigga, I know this is a blow. I know. But, nigga, we might have to take this one on the chin. He was like, all right. He was like, for sure. He was like, for sure. He just kept telling me, for sure, for sure, for sure. I like, for real, bro. We're gonna be straight. We're gonna be good. And this my first cousin, first son. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a son older than him. He like my son, but he not. He my little cousin, but he my first cousin, first son. And this my first cousin, like, we grew up close. And he said, all right. And then I dropped that nigga off, and then I had made a video. It was for him. It was for the cops, because I knew they was looking. It was for them. But it was for him too. And I was crying. I was like, look, nigga, I'm going to figure a way out, bro. I'm going to get us out of this shit. Don't trip, nigga. I was like, something going to crack, nigga. Don't fold, nigga. That's what they want us to do. And I'll never forget, he liked it. He liked the video. When I put it up, he liked it. He ain't say nothing, but he liked it. And then one day she called me. She's like, oh, got some good news. And I was like, what's up? And then she told me, and I was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I complete this nigga out on the jump, and they gonna look the other way about the shit. They gonna look the other way about the shit, and she was like, they gonna look the other way about the shit, and I can get him. I think it was like 3 years probation. I was like, yes. Tell him, hell yeah, we signing the plea, yes. She was like, well, you know I got to confer with my client. I was like, I know all that. I'm just telling you yes. And I waited and let her call him before I called him. And then I called him, and we was happy. And then boom, sentencing. And she was mad at me because I showed up high as a bitch. But nigga, fuck that. I had my nigga shirt on, Me We Free. I had my nigga Free shirt on. His logo is Me We Free. I had his shirt on. And we went and got sentenced, got that probation. I was happy as a motherfucker. And we're going to be able to tell that story too. Because we know they can't do nothing about it. And I ain't never trying to taunt the state that, hey, nigga, come holler at me one time. Or the feds or whoever. But I know that we're gonna be able to be alright. And then as far as me, we don't get to talk about my bodies. My shit is my business, because as far as the law know, I ain't never did nothing like that. They know me for drug smuggling. They know me for robbery too. If I have a guns. I'm known for those three things. I'm known to be armed and dangerous, a drug smuggler, and a robber. Those are the three things that they are aware that I do. Anything else, that shit hearsay. And if ever they come holler at me about it, I'm going to tell them, nigga, I was so high that night, I don't remember nothing. And then if they say, well, we know this, and I'm going to say, well, shit, y'all know more than me, nigga, because on that day in specific, if I can remember, like, let me think, on that day that you talking about that day, right? Was it nighttime? I was selling drugs on the corner over there in the hood. That's what I was doing. I was selling drugs. Y'all need to go back in this video of that day and go look over there where I be. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was selling drugs. I was right there on the block. Right there with the homies. Nigga, fuck with me one time. That's my alibi. Other than that, I don't know shit.